Have you ever wondered why China is considered the modern pirate in the West Philippine Sea? This term isn't just a catchy phrase, it reflects a complex and contentious geopolitical reality. This is a serious question that demands our attention. The actions of China in this region have far-reaching implications, not just for the countries directly involved, but for global maritime law and international relations as a whole. China's actions in the region have sparked international concern. The aggressive stance and military presence have led to heightened tensions and a precarious balance of power. Many observers draw parallels between China's behavior and that of pirates of old. Just as pirates once roamed the high seas, claiming territories and resources by force, China is seen by some as using its might to assert control over vast maritime areas. Let's delve deeper into this complex issue. Understanding the historical context and the legal arguments is crucial to grasping the full picture. China claims almost the entire South China Sea as its own. This vast area is rich in resources, including fish, oil, and natural gas, making it a highly coveted region. This claim is based on what it calls the 9-dash line. This line, which appears on Chinese maps, stretches deep into the South China Sea, overlapping with the exclusive economic zones of several other countries. This line is a historical demarcation that China uses to assert its sovereignty over the area. The origins of the 9-dash line date back to maps from the early 20th century, but its legal standing is highly contested. However, this claim is disputed by many countries, including the Philippines. These nations argue that China's expansive claims violate international law, specifically the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, UNCLOS. The ongoing disputes have led to numerous confrontations and a complex web of diplomatic negotiations. China's actions in the West Philippine Sea have become increasingly assertive. Chinese Coast Guard vessels regularly patrol the waters. Chinese fishing fleets operate within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. This area extends 200 nautical miles from a country's coastline and grants it special rights regarding natural resources. China's presence in the region is growing. It has built artificial islands in the Spratly Islands. These islands are equipped with military installations and airstrips. These actions have heightened tensions in the region and raised concerns about China's intentions. The South China Sea dispute has deep historical roots. For centuries, China has claimed sovereignty over the area. However, other countries in the region, including the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, and Brunei, also claim parts of the sea. After World War II, the Philippines gained independence from the United States. It inherited maritime areas, including parts of the South China Sea. This inheritance set the stage for the current territorial disputes. The 9-dash line is at the heart of the South China Sea dispute. This line, drawn by China, stretches across a vast expanse of the sea, covering almost 90% of its waters. China claims that this line, which encompasses most of the South China Sea, is based on historical rights. They argue that ancient maps and records justify their extensive claims over these waters. However, this claim is not supported by international law. Many neighboring countries, including the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, and Brunei, have competing claims in these waters. The United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS, governs maritime boundaries and rights. This international treaty, established in 1982, sets out the legal framework for maritime activities and territorial waters. It does not recognize China's 9-dash line claim. According to UNCLOS, countries have rights to waters extending 200 nautical miles from their coastlines, known as exclusive economic zones, or EEZs. In 2016, an international tribunal in The Hague ruled against China's claims in the South China Sea. The tribunal found that China's historical rights argument had no legal basis under UNCLOS. However, China has rejected the tribunal's ruling. They continue to assert their claims and have increased their presence in the region, building artificial islands and military installations, further escalating tensions. Section 5. Harassment and Intimidation at Sea. Chinese vessels have been accused of harassing and intimidating Filipino fishermen in the West Philippine Sea. There have been numerous reports of Chinese Coast Guard ships chasing away Filipino fishing boats. Some Filipino fishermen have even reported being fired upon with water cannons. These actions threaten the livelihoods of Filipino fishermen. They also raise concerns about China's willingness to use force to assert its claims in the region. The Philippines has lodged diplomatic protests against these actions. Section 6. Environmental impact of China's actions. China's activities in the South China Sea are also having a detrimental impact on the marine environment. The construction of artificial islands has caused significant damage to coral reefs and marine life. Overfishing by Chinese vessels is depleting fish stocks. The South China Sea is home to a rich diversity of marine species. It is a vital fishing ground for many countries in the region. China's disregard for the environmental consequences of its actions is a cause for concern. Section 7. Economic stakes, fishing and resources. The fishing industry is a vital part of the global economy, providing food and employment to millions of people around the world. The South China Sea is not only a strategically important waterway, but also a region rich in natural resources. This area is a hotspot for fishing activities, with numerous species of fish that are essential for both local consumption and international trade. It is believed to hold vast reserves of oil and natural gas. These resources are highly sought after, as they can significantly boost the energy security and economic growth of the countries that can access them. The fishing grounds in the area are crucial for the livelihoods of millions of people. Many coastal communities depend on fishing as their primary source of income, and the health of these fishing grounds directly impacts their well-being. China's assertive actions in the region are driven in part by a desire to secure access to these resources. By establishing control over key areas, China aims to ensure a steady supply of fish and energy resources for its growing population and economy. This situation creates economic competition and potential conflict with other countries that rely on the South China Sea for their livelihoods. Nations such as Vietnam, the Philippines and Malaysia also have significant stakes in the region, leading to a complex web of territorial disputes and diplomatic tensions. International negotiations and agreements are crucial in managing these disputes and ensuring that the resources of the South China Sea are used sustainably and equitably. Cooperation and dialogue among the involved nations can help prevent conflicts and promote mutual benefits. Additionally, the environmental impact of overfishing and resource extraction in the South China Sea cannot be ignored. Sustainable practices are essential to preserve the marine ecosystem and ensure that future generations can continue to benefit from its resources. The future of the South China Sea's resources depends on the actions taken today. By balancing economic interests with environmental stewardship, the region can thrive and continue to support the millions of people who depend on it. Section 8. International law and the South China Sea dispute. The South China Sea dispute is a complex issue with implications for international law and regional stability. China's actions have been widely condemned by the international community. Many countries have called for a peaceful resolution to the dispute. The United States, along with other Western countries, has conducted freedom of navigation operations in the South China Sea. These operations are intended to challenge China's excessive maritime claims and uphold the principles of freedom of navigation. Section 9. The Philippines' response and international support. The Philippines has responded to China's actions in the West Philippine Sea through a combination of diplomacy and legal challenges. The Philippines has filed diplomatic protests against China's actions. It has also sought to strengthen its military capabilities. The Philippines has found support from the international community. Many countries have expressed concern over China's actions. They have called for a peaceful resolution to the dispute. International support is crucial for the Philippines in upholding its maritime rights. Section 10. The need for diplomacy and cooperation. The South China Sea dispute is a reminder of the importance of diplomacy and cooperation in international relations. A peaceful resolution is in the best interests of all parties involved. It is essential to maintain open lines of communication. Dialogue and negotiation are crucial for finding a lasting solution to the dispute. It is important to respect international law and the rights of all countries in the region. Cooperation is essential for maintaining peace and stability in the South China Sea. Section 11. Stay informed, stay engaged. The South China Sea dispute is a complex and evolving issue with far-reaching consequences. It is important to stay informed about the latest developments and engage in constructive dialogue about the challenges facing the region. Understanding the historical context, the legal framework, and the perspectives of all parties involved is crucial for promoting peace and stability in the South China Sea. Subscribe for more amazing content. Keep wondering. Don't miss out on future explorations and discoveries. Hit subscribe and ring the bell to stay updated with our new content. Your journey of wonder continues with every video. Stay connected and engaged on social media. Continue the conversation, follow us. Thank you for being a part of the Have You Ever Wondered community. Keep wondering, keep discovering. Until next time.